This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So recent information from the US government has shown the eye-watering costs of keeping the sea superyacht motor yacht Amadea in San Diego in California. The yacht was seized by the US government with the help from the government of Fiji in 2022 after the yacht, which was believed to be heading to Vladivostok in Russia, stopped in Fiji, most likely to refuel and bring on new crew. The yacht was immediately arrested upon arrival, and after 2 months of court cases, the yacht was handed over to the US government. The crew were removed and replaced with a new US government crew and sailed to San Diego via Hawaii. Now, the reason the vessel was seized was because the US believed the yacht was purchased by sanctioned Russian Suleiman Karimov in 2021. Now, a recent release from the US government has shown how much they're paying for the upkeep of the yacht. There have been various numbers flying around on the internet, but we're going to give you the exact numbers today. A declaration released by the Asset Forfeiture Department of the US Marshals says it's costing them $600,000 per month in upkeep. Now, amongst these costs, which, oh, by the way, that's about $7 million a year. Now, amongst the costs are the following. Now, this is per month costs: $360,000 a month for crew salary. And we're going to come back to that in a little bit. $75,000 a month for fuel, and $165,000 a month in other expenses, including maintenance, crew food, waste removal, and other expenses. Now, on top of that, per year, they have to take out an insurance policy. And the insurance policy for Amadea is $1,725,000. And the US Marshal Service is making a payment on that this month, February this month. Now, also on top of that bill, in March 2024, Amadea is scheduled to go into a dry dock. And the estimated cost of this dry dock will be $5.6 million US. This is required to maintain insurance coverage and is necessary to maintain the vessel's classification, which affects the value of the vessel, right, for when they come up to sell it. The upcoming dry dock is expected to take approximately 2 months. This is on the statement from the US Marshal Service, and they said during which the US Marshal Service has negotiated to not pay the above referenced monthly costs, which US Marshal Service will resume paying once the vessel is out of the dry dock and back in the water in May 2024. I can only assume by that they mean that there's another federal agency going to be paying those fees during that time, because obviously you still have to pay the crew and food and all that stuff. It doesn't stop because they're in dry dock. Now, on the New York Times article, there are some comments from rocket scientists. Obviously, they're not rocket scientists when you see them. Now, this was sent to us by a subscriber, and I just thought it was worth adding. Now, one of the people who goes by the avatar of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, can't even say it. It says the boat is docked and doesn't need to be used. Save the 400 grand and fire the crew and stop putting fuel in it. Wow. And then there's somebody called John S, and he says, why does it need fuel? Are they moving this around? Why upkeep it at all? Just scuttle it. We could always use a new artificial reef. Hence the rocket scientist comment. Okay, so first one, fuel. Now that's a valid question. You might think, why does it need to be fueled if it's not moving? The vessel needs to run generators, gensets, to operate things like lights. You know, all the electrics on board need to be operated, and that's supplied by generators. And the AC will be running the whole time as well. If you turn off the AC on a yacht, it will be irreversibly damaged inside. The interior will be, and then obviously everything's about keeping the value of it for when it's sold, right? So that's the fuel. Now sometimes you can plug into shore power, and you can use shore power and switch off the generators. But where the vessel is docked, there is no shore power facilities as far as we know. And also, even if it was plugged into shore power, you're still going to incur costs for the shore power, right? It might be a little bit cheaper. But you're still going to get costs to pay for that electricity. Okay, we'll go back to the crew payments. This is the only bill on there that looks potentially excessive. It's the crew salary. Now, the yacht is not being used for its intended purpose, and it's basically sitting in the port, and then maybe once a month it's going out, or it's sailing around the local area and then back into port again. And they're doing that for obvious reasons, to keep things turning. If you don't do that, if you don't turn over the main engines, you're going to have issues with them when it comes to use them. Now, but to do this, you only need a minimum crew. Now, what do I mean by the minimum crew? Well, according to Chapter 5 of SOLAS Convention, which is Safety of Lives at Sea, all yachts in the large yacht and passenger yacht codes, of which this boat is one of those, are required to be crewed by a minimum number of crew. Now, the yacht will have a document on board with a list of crew required to operate the yacht. It's named the Minimum Safe Manning Document. And it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a list of people required to safely operate the vessel. Safe manning includes safety and security of the ship, safe navigation of operations at sea, safe operations in port, prevention of operations in port, the avoidance of damage to the marine environment and property, the welfare and health of the seafarers through the avoidance of fatigue. Now, this is determined, the minimum manning list is determined by the International Maritime Organization and the flag state. Now, on a yacht of this size, the minimum safe manning list, now we don't know exactly what it is because we don't have access to that paperwork, but we know other vessels in this size. The list could be as low as 12, and it could be the following crew: the captain, the chief officer, 2 second officers, chief engineer, maybe 2 second engineers, an ETO, a chef, bosun, and let's say 2 deckhands. Now, maybe they'll need a couple more deckhands because it is quite a big boat and they are moving it occasionally, but they could bring on day workers for that and save on some costs there. If the vessel's only going out once a month, then they can hire day workers for that period, bring them on and then let them go again, right? Now, as well as that minimum manning, they may have the following crew, which would, I think they may have a purser and they may have like a couple of interior staff, and they would be doing things like cleaning and working in the laundry, etc. However, the $360,000 a month bill for crew suggests a much larger crew, and it sounds like they may be at full manning, which doesn't really make any sense for a yacht that is mostly sitting in a port in San Diego. Obviously, there could be other factors that we are not taking into consideration there, but yeah, I can't think of any, really. It's understood that Mr. Karimov has refused to pay the bill for the yacht. However, the lawyers representing Edward Kutenatov, who they say is the rightful owner of the yacht, have said he's offered to pay the bill for the yacht. Now, on Friday, the 9th of February, the US government filed a motion in court for the interlocutory sale of the yacht Amadea. That word, which I'm not going to try and say again, means it's made during the progress of a legal action and is not final or definitive. Now, the lawyers for Kutenatov have sent us a statement to read out here, and they say the Biden administration's motion to sell the Amadea states that maintenance and insurance costs have reached $20 million and counting. The statement goes on to say Mr. Kutenatov, the Amadea's owner, has repeatedly offered to reimburse the American taxpayers for the maintenance costs if the government returns the Amadea to its rightful owner, but to no avail. The government's motion to sell the Amadea not only fails on the merits, but it is premature. The court should deny the request until the court determines whether the seizure was unconstitutional and once an operative complaint has survived a motion to dismiss. We will, of course, keep you up to date on this, and we're actually looking at possibly doing a longer video, separate longer video on this, because we've got an awful lot of information on this. Let us know in the comments if you're actually interested in that video. All right, we'll move on. We've got a yacht called Motor Yacht Elements, and the destination of this yacht is an interesting one. 80 metre or 262 foot super yacht was heading through a very dangerous area in recent days. The yacht is built in 2017 by Yachtly in Turkey and was in the Red Sea a few days ago after sailing through the Seuz Canal. And that, obviously you all know that there's been a lot of recent attacks on vessels in the Red Sea, and the attacks have been coming from militia operating in Yemen. So the yacht had headed south through Seuz Canal and was in the Red Sea and beyond. But as for the destination, you can see what it says here. It simply reads, no Israel connection. That's the actual destination on AIS. Now, the AIS has been operating intermittently, hence the straight dotted lines on screen that you can see on marine traffic. And the owner certainly does not seem to have any Israel connection. The owner is Fahad Al Athel from Saudi Arabia. So he's basically broadcasting to say, please don't fire any missiles at my yacht because I'm nothing to do with Israel. Thanks to the subscriber for sending this in. Now, staying in the Red Sea and in that area, we've got Flying Fox has been heading south too. The yacht is heading in the same direction. It was at Port Said recently waiting to be given a slot to go through. This is what you have to do on the Seuz Canal now. Whether you're going north or south, you have to wait at the entrance to the canal for a slot to go through. The vessel was at Port Said, as I said, and then it recently transited Seuz Canal, as you can see in the AIS data. Now, the yacht has recently been taken out of mothballs and has been recommissioned after being laid up in Turkey since being detained in Dominican Republic in 2022. The vessel sailed straight to Turkey after that, and then it's been laid up ever since. Now, the yacht was placed on the sanctions list. It's still on there right now after, according to the US, it has connections with sanctioned yacht management company Imperial Yachts. The vessel is actually owned by a Russian, Dmitry Kemenchek, and he is also the owner of an airport in Moscow. I'll put the name on the screen. He's actually not under any sanctions. He's not been put under any sanctions at any point. So for the people who often comment here that they're just being sanctioned because they're Russian, this is an example of a Russian who's not sanctioned. So that proves that those comments are actually incorrect. Now, what if your boss is the douchebag and you want to leave, but you're in this situation, right, where you can't get a good reference because your boss is the douchebag? All right, episode 4 of the Yacht Report podcast is now live on the channel at Yacht Report Podcast on YouTube. You can also find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well as Audible. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/esysman. You'll find many videos not featured on YouTube, including our Atlantic vlog series and the patron chat series. A new patron chat has just gone out, and behind the scenes footage from our trips to superyacht marinas all over the world. There's also a new feature which will be coming out possibly at the weekend, which is already on the Patreon channel, so you can go and check it out at patreon.com/esysman. Now, if you've got any information about any of the stories or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can get us in the email address and the ticker. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, on Twitter, and on Threema. Be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye. Now, on Friday, the 9th of February, the US government filed a motion in court for interlocutory interlocutory. Now, on Friday, the 9th of February, the US government filed a motion in court for the interlocutory. Now, on Friday, the 9th of February, the US government filed a motion in court for the interlocutory sale of the yacht Amadea. It was easy for me to say.